You're watching 48 Fastcast.
Thank you for joining us. We've made it to Friday, y'all. I'm Margot Gray with your 48 Fastcast. Temperatures, though, dropping drastically this weekend as we prepare for a 48 First Alert weather day coming up on Sunday. So let's toss it over to Jada Russell for what we can expect in the coming days. Jada.
We are seeing that drastic drop in temperatures. Today's high was in those upper end 60s. And then, as you can see, we're dropping it into the 40s for tomorrow with that rain chance coming in tonight. And then we're dropping again into some 30s. You'll notice our lows are even below freezing, right around 23 degrees for your Sunday and your Monday morning. We're expecting to see some cooler conditions by that point. So those are both our first alert weather days, really on account of the fact that we are starting to deal with some wind chills going out that morning. So make sure that you are starting to make your plans around that going into those 2 days. Right now, temperatures in the 70s, if that makes any sense to you. Our forecast is all over the place, but we're making some changes tonight with that rain coming in. We're seeing that cold front moving through. That should take us down quite a good deal. Like I showed you a moment ago, things are quiet for the moment, but we are expecting to see that rain timeline kind of ramp up as we get late into the evening. So if you have some later Friday night plans right around 11 o'clock, make sure you keep that umbrella on standby because we are expecting to see heavy pass through of rain in those overnight hours. I'll show you what else to expect coming up in just a few moments.
All right, thank you, Jada. Huntsville police just confirming the person shot a teenager yesterday on Powell Drive did not survive. We were first on the scene when officers found a 17-year-old boy with a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital where he died from his injuries. His identity has not been released due to his age. Police are calling this an isolated incident and are not commenting on any arrests or suspects. A former Huntsville pastor is set to spend the next 5 years behind bars. A district judge sentenced him for embezzling thousands of dollars from his church. We're talking about Adrian Davis, pleading guilty to wire fraud and filing a fake tax return. According to the plea agreement, Davis used his position to embezzle more than $400,000 from All Nations Worship Assembly. He used that money on luxury items from Louis Vuitton to Peter Marco. Davis was sentenced to 5 years in prison for his crimes. Now let's go over to Washington, where the Supreme Court struck down the president's tariffs. However, President Trump says the fight is not over. The court ruled President Trump violated federal law when he imposed sweeping tariffs across the world. Chief Justice John Roberts says the president needs authorization from Congress to move forward with those tariffs. The president is not happy with the 6-3 decision.
The Supreme Court's ruling on tariffs is deeply disappointing, and I'm ashamed of certain members of the court, absolutely ashamed, for not having the courage to do what's right for our country.
All right, so there you have it. Lawmakers are giving their thoughts as well to that Supreme Court ruling. Senator Tommy Tuberville says the court is holding President Trump back from imposing tariffs on countries who are, quote, ripping us off. On the other side of the aisle, Congresswoman Terry Sewell is praising the court for its decision. She says she will hold the president accountable and will never stop fighting to lower costs for Alabamians. All right, today marks the start of a sales tax holiday for products that you could save on, and it could save your life. More on that when we return. So if you're looking to stock up on supplies to stay safe during severe weather, now's the time. to do it. Items like flashlights, generators, and weather radios are part of this weekend's sales tax holiday. So from now until Sunday, you can buy certain supplies tax-free so you can stay safe as the tornado season approaches. Stores across the valley are taking part this weekend and say the tax holiday can be a real difference maker for families.
Batteries tend to be a little more expensive. Flashlights can be expensive as well. So these are things that if we can save that tax, so around 10%. So they're buying it at shelf value and not having to pay that extra. So every little bit helps, especially in today's economy.
All right, so to see the full list of those eligible items for the tax-free weekend, just go to our website at WAFF.com.
Now, your first alert weather forecast with Jada Russell.
It's a gorgeous day out in the valley. We can see beautiful sunshine and plenty of it for the rest of this afternoon. Expectations, though, we're going to see that forecast changed quite overnight. Really expecting to see some overnight showers that will play into some of those cooler conditions we're expecting for this weekend. So right now we're about 68 to 69 degrees. Some folks still sitting at 70. Busy all along the Parkway. It's a great Friday night to get out and enjoy the city. If you have any plans, go ahead and make some if you haven't. But we are expecting to see rain chances pick up as we get into the late night hours. So we'll see 60s right around 4 for us. We'll see some upper end 60s by 7 o'clock. That's when we start to see increasing cloud cover just before these showers make their way into the valley. 60 degrees is where we'll sit by that point. And then overnight, like I mentioned, rain chances expected to drop us into the 50s. So we'll see a drop for a lot of us into these 50s for tomorrow. And then a couple areas, maybe a touch warmer than that, but even still, we're expecting to see some overnight showers. So picking it up right around 8 o'clock, a lot of our Tennessee communities will see heavy downpours earlier in the night than the rest of us. But as we get to 10 o'clock, you'll see some of these heavy downpours, very sporadic in nature so far, but we've got some cooler air moving alongside it. So going through those overnight hours, you can see we have a pass through of some heavy showers going into our Saturday morning, really early, right around 2 and 3 o'clock is when we'll see that. This is around 4 a.m. where the worst of the showers and some possible storms make their way well off into the west, northwest, and we'll see a couple of leftover showers. This will leave a lot of us in those 40s. We're expecting to see a good deal of that rainfall into those overnight hours. And then most of us won't really see much beyond half an inch, but it's going to sound like it's a little heavier than that because we are going to see that heavy downpour at times. So keep that in mind as you make your plans. Going through the rest of the week ahead, after those 2 first alert days, we get back into the 40s for Tuesday, and then it's right back into those 60s Wednesday and Thursday. And those days come with some rain chances at that point as well. Expecting to see scattered showers right now for next Thursday, not expecting anything severe and not expecting anything severe out of these weekend storms. So as you make your plans, make sure you keep that umbrella nearby. We'll have some rain in and out the forecast for the next few days.
The umbrella and the coat, because winter is showing right back up. All right, that'll do it for your 48 Fastcast. AJ Weiss will log back on momentarily with Before the 4, and then join us on WAFF 48 on air for today's top headlines across the Tennessee Valley. You can catch us at 4, 5, 6, and 10. We'll have you covered. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great Friday.